Ambassador Kexathera of the Galactic Council shifted uncomfortably in her biomechanical chair as she reviewed the ancient archives. The holographic display flickered with corrupted data, showing fragments of records from nearly 3 millennia ago. She was researching human history for the upcoming cultural exchange ceremony, but something didn't add up. The records showed a gap, a deliberate erasure spanning roughly 50 standard years during humanity's early expansion period. Every mention of a particular species had been systematically removed from all databases across the galaxy. Only traces remained: shipping manifests with redacted names, diplomatic protocols with blank spaces where species designations should be, and most tellingly, a single recurring phrase in human military archives: Final Solution Protocol, Target, Redacted. Kexathera's secondary hearts began beating faster. In her 4 centuries of diplomatic service, she had never encountered such thorough data purging. The Galactic Council prided itself on maintaining complete historical records. Yet here was evidence of something so terrible that even the memory of it had been deliberately erased. She activated her secure communicator. "Historian Velnock, I need you in my office immediately. Bring your deepest archive clearances." Velnock arrived within minutes, his insectoid features betraying curiosity. "What have you found, Ambassador?" "Look at these records." Kexathera gestured at the display. Humans encountered approximately 847 sentient species during their expansion. We have detailed records of 846 of them. One is completely missing. Velnock's compound eyes studied the data carefully. Perhaps they went extinct naturally? Plague? Stellar catastrophe? No. Kexathera pulled up another file. "I found references in sealed tribunal records. Whatever happened, it was intentional. And it involved humans directly." The historian's mandibles clicked nervously. "The humans have always been intense about certain matters. But genocide? They've been model galactic citizens for 3,000 years. They're the ones who established the protection protocols for developing civilizations." Exactly. Kexathera's voice carried a weight of growing dread, which makes this more disturbing. What could make humanity, a species that now goes to extraordinary lengths to preserve life, completely erase another species from existence? They spent hours diving deeper into the archives. Slowly, fragments emerged. A species designation that appeared in corrupted files, something starting with Zar or Zer, references to harvesting operations and processing centers. And then, buried in the personal log of a long-dead council mediator, they found it. The entry was brief, almost clinical. Mediation attempt failed. The corrupted refused to halt their operations despite overwhelming evidence of sentience in their harvest subjects. Human delegation has withdrawn from negotiations. Admiral Chen's final words: "You have made the wrong species angry." Council formally protests human military mobilization. The next entry, dated 6 months later, simply read, "War concluded. Corrupted homeworlds uninhabitable. No survivors detected. Recommend immediate data classification under Extinction Event Protocol 7. Kexathera and Velnock sat in stunned silence. Protocol 7 was reserved for species that had committed crimes so heinous that even their memory was considered dangerous to galactic civilization. "Ambassador," Velnock whispered, "what did they do?" More searching revealed the answer in fragments. The missing species had been slavers, but not ordinary ones. They had discovered that certain forms of psychological torture could extend the lifespan of their subjects indefinitely. keeping them alive for centuries while harvesting neural energy from their suffering. They had industrialized agony, turning pain into a resource, and they had made the mistake of targeting human colonies. The final piece came from an encrypted human military archive that Kexathera accessed using her emergency diplomatic codes. It was a transmission from Admiral Chen to the Galactic Council, sent 3 days before the war's end. To the honorable members of the Council, we understand your concerns about proportional response. However, proportionality assumes the enemy possesses the capacity for mercy, for growth, for redemption. Our investigation of their facilities has revealed that this species views suffering itself as a delicacy to be savored. They have perfected the art of keeping beings alive purely to maximize their pain. They showed our colonists no mercy. They showed the children no mercy. They will show your species no mercy when they inevitably turn their attention to you. We are not known for our restraint when our young are threatened. We have decided to teach the galaxy a lesson about the consequences of such actions. When we are finished, no trace of these creatures will remain to inspire others. Consider this, both an act of justice and a service to galactic civilization. Some evils are too great to be allowed to exist, even as a memory. The human fleet wishes you peace and prosperity. We are going to war. Kexathera closed the file with trembling fingers. Now she understood why the records had been sealed, why even the species' name had been erased. The humans hadn't just won a war. They had performed a service so terrible and so necessary that the entire galaxy had agreed to forget it had ever been needed. She looked at Velnok. "We never speak of this again." "Agreed," the historian said quickly. "Some knowledge is too dangerous to preserve." As Kexathera prepared for the cultural exchange ceremony, she found herself looking at humanity with new eyes. For 3 millennia, they had been the galaxy's protectors, the first to offer aid in disasters, the most vocal advocates for peace and justice. But now she knew the truth. They weren't gentle because they were weak. They were gentle because they had seen what they became when they weren't. The last species that made humans truly angry had vanished so completely that even their name was forgotten. And perhaps, Kexathera reflected, that was exactly as it should be. In the depths of space, human patrol ships continued their endless vigil, protecting the innocent and preserving the peace. They carried no monuments to their terrible victory, no records of their righteous fury. They simply remembered, in the way that humans always remembered, the promise they had made to themselves and to the galaxy. Some lines should never be crossed. And if they were crossed, the consequences would be absolute.